Hi guys, I'm going to give you some tips on saving money. Now, this helped my husband and I. We were raising 4 kids, plus a lot of their friends were coming over because they were all hungry. All these little tips helped us save a lot of money. We managed to pay off $90,000 in credit card debt by just doing all these little things. It took a few years, but we got it done, and I'm going to give you those tips now. So let's get going. Okay, something I did when I had to wash a lot of clothes. Obviously, kids, they dirty a lot of things, and so did my husband and I. Is I made my own laundry detergent. Now, it's not going to behave exactly like your regular detergent that you get at the supermarket or store, but it does clean the clothes. And I proved it one day because I took my son's shirts and shorts and jeans, and when I put it in the washer and I lifted up to look at the water was brown, like dark brown, and I'm like, wow, this really works. So there are a lot of recipes on YouTube and online that you can make it. You will save so much money. It costs pennies for a load. Look them up, give it a try. You won't regret it. Another thing that I did, and I still do till this day, is I put wool balls with essential oil on them in my dryer to dry the clothes. All you do is get your essential oil, any scent that you like, and all you do is put one little drop on each wool ball. The wool balls are reusable. Just put them in your dryer and they dry your clothes, and it makes your clothes smell so good. When I open up my drawers, the scent of lavender just comes out. I mean, you won't regret it, and it saves you money because you're not buying all those giant bottles of fabric softener. Plus, it's all natural. Natural is always best. It really is. Um, Especially for like kids that have sensitive skin, like my youngest daughter, Izzy, she had sensitive skin. This helped a lot. Another hack I did was I love the smell of Febreze. Yes, I know it's not natural, but every once in a while you just gotta cave and go for the nice, pretty smelling stuff like Febreze. $5 a bottle. There was no way I could have afforded that back then. Remember, we're trying to get out of debt and save money. And what I did was I bought my favorite fabric softener, which was Downy, which was pricey, couldn't do it. And I would put a little bit in a spray bottle and fill the rest with water. And that was my homemade Febreze. I used to spray that on my curtains, on my couches, on my rugs. It never stained anything, and it made the place smell really, really good. Um, I mean, I just don't see why you have to pay all that money for a giant bottle of that stuff. I mean, it's good, but if you're trying to save money, it isn't the wisest thing to do. So make your own Febreze. Okay, cleaning. I would buy the bottles of cleaner and I would dilute them. Same thing like the Febreze bottles. I would take Pine Sol or whatever I liked from the dollar store. I never paid like for a full bottle of something from, a department store. It would cost me $1, and I would pour a little bit in a spray bottle and fill the rest with water, and I would use that to clean everything. It saved so much money because it was pennies, and you can use any cleaner that you like and just dilute it. Dollar Tree today has a lot of cleaners that smell really good, and they really do a good job. There's one that it smells like oranges. It's really good. Give it a try. You won't regret it. You'll save money, you'll get everything clean. Trust me, it works. It really works. Guys, stop using your credit cards. Cut them up if you have to. Put them in a block of ice and freeze them if you have to. Stop using them. If you're gonna have a credit card, which most people need one if you're ever gonna like rent a car, or if you have an emergency like a major appliance breaks in your house, they're good to have for that, but make sure you pay it off fast. Don't use your credit cards for everyday basic things like to pay off electricity or to buy groceries, or, to splurge on something like a new stereo system. I'm telling you, it is not worth it. It isn't worth it. We got into debt because we had a huge house in Texas, and my husband's job, the company he worked for in the past, cut all the hours, and there went a chunk of the money. Even though I owned my own business down there, it was still tough. And doing all these little tips, we still made it through We never paid one mortgage payment late. We never paid an electricity late. There was one point where we had $5 for gas between both our cars, and that's when gas was 88 cents a gallon, and we managed to figure it out and do it. So you can too. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's not worth having the stress of knowing that you have this huge amount of debt. It's really not. I know you can do it. Stop eating out. I know it's fun to eat out. I trust me. My husband and I just got back from a lunch date. We went to a nice Mexican place. We had some, margaritas. Okay, we don't do this on a regular basis. Cook at home. If buy things in bulk if you can. Freeze, divide, put leftovers in baggies and freeze them and take them out on a day where you're very busy. That will save you so much money. And fast food, by the way, is not worth eating. It really isn't. For what you pay in fast food for a family, you can seriously go in the supermarket and buy like 2 or 3 meals with the same amount of money. Stop eating out. Leave it for special occasions. You'll also help your waistline. Just stop. Stay at home more. Cook. Learn to cook if you don't know how. It's a lot of fun. Grow a garden. Grow a garden. If you have the space, grow a garden. You can even plant tomato and peppers and like garlic or carrots in containers and put them on your balcony or your fire escape. If you have any little place like that, just do it. A garden doesn't have to be a huge production. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even if you do one little thing, it's one less tomato you got to buy at the store. Grow a garden. I knew that I was going to do that when I had kids. I knew it was going to happen. Give it a try. You can stop buying paper towels and napkins. What I would do is I would take some old cloths that I have, probably usually cotton, and I'd cut them up into little squares and I'd use them as rags to clean the house, wipe down my counters, and then I just wash them. It stopped the buying of, a lot of paper towels. Of course, my favorite paper towel brand was the high-end brands was Bounty, and I gave up Bounty for years because this is what I did. It was just so much easier, and it was cheaper, and they were washable. Another thing, when you're going to wash a load of clothes, don't wash one little load. If you're going to put a load of clothes in the washer, do a big one. Do a big one. That way you save on the water instead of doing like one little one. It's wasteful. Cut up towels, use them as cleaning rags. Later you could go back to Bounty. Another way to save is I stopped buying paper plates and plastic cups. I had a dishwasher and I made use of it. And if I didn't feel like loading the dishwasher, or I had it loaded and there were still dirty dishes, I waited for the dishwasher to finish, unload it and reload it, or my kids washed dishes. Yes, they did. 4 of my children, I have 4, learned to clean, learned to cook, learned to do chores, and today they don't regret it. They don't. Because now they're capable humans, adults, that know how to function. Get your kids in on the action. Get them cleaning. Let them help you. It'll be worth it. And load the dishwasher. Use dishes. Stop buying paper. Stop buying paper. So what I would do is I would reuse containers. Any container I could have that I could clean, I would reuse them. Like a jelly jar. I wash jelly jars. We use them as cups. With 4 kids in the house, a lot of glasses would break, fall, spill. You named it, it happened. I would just reuse containers. I've stored food in mason jars. If I had them around, that's what I used. Another thing is I used coupons wherever I could get them. Anytime I saw a coupon for something that I knew I was going to buy, I'd use it. Couponing, really, it didn't save a whole lot of money, but it saves some. Now, there are some people that do extreme couponing. God bless them. I didn't have the knowledge or the time for that, raising all these kids. But use coupons. There's no shame in couponing. Every 50 cents you could save on, a piece of chicken or something, it helps. It's 50 cents in your favor. So you guys are going to laugh at this one. My kids, like every other kid, wanted the name brand cereal. They did. They wanted Frosty Flakes, and they just wanted all the name brand. So I bought the name brand one day, and sorry kids if you watch this. Then when they were in school and the name brand cereal was out, when I would buy the cheap brand, I would just refill the box of the name brand cereal. And they never knew. They never knew they were eating the cheap stuff. Saved a ton of money. Some of those name brands are, my gosh, they're expensive. So I would buy the cheap one in bulk and just refill the other one. A snap. Another thing I did is, the soap pumps. Yeah, right. I know some of you have little kids, and what do they want to do? They just want to pump and do 5 pumps. So in order to save the soap in the pump, which I diluted, by the way, with water, I put a rubber band around the part that goes in, so when they would press down and pump, the pump wouldn't go down all the way, and they only got a little bit out. Simple, right? I don't know who showed me that. I think it was another mom who was struggling with the same thing. But that saved money. Try it. When you have to go shopping, your kids need clothes, try to see if you could find hand-me-downs. I had a lot of friends who would have kids and then decide not to have any more and give me tons of clothes for my kids. I saved so much money by using hand-me-downs. And sometimes the kids don't like it, but I mean, you have to say too bad. It's clothes, it's fine, it's clean. If every once in a while you break down and you do buy something, but you don't have to do it every time. Hand-me-downs are awesome. I love hand-me-downs. I still get hand-me-downs today, especially if it's something cool that one of my friends is wearing. I'm like, girl, I want that one when you're giving it away. Saves money. Okay, so during the day, try to keep the lights turned off. If you have windows, open up curtains, let the natural light in. It saves money. In the summer when it's really hot, try to keep the curtains closed to keep the house a little cooler. In the winter, open them up and let the warm sun in. At night, I used to use lamps. I like using lamps even till this day because it gives the room like a soft, warm glow. I don't know, it almost feels kind of romantic. And it saves money. It really does. What you burn in a lamp is nothing than keeping the giant light in the house on for hours. It just sucks up your energy. You'll save money. You'll notice your electricity bill will go down if you do this. Another thing you can do is when movies come out, of course, the kids want to go to the movies and watch the movie. Have you noticed how expensive a movie theater ticket is, especially when you're a family of 6? And then they want all the condiments, the popcorn and the soda. It is very expensive. Get movies at home. Even if you have to go to the Red Box and rent it for $1, it's so much cheaper to have a movie night at home than to go to the theater. Once in a while, there is a movie that it's worth paying to see on a giant screen. Like I wanted to see The Hobbit on a giant screen because I read the book. I did it. But when the kids were home, we just watched movies. We had Friday night movie nights. I made some dough. We made our own homemade pizza. It really saved a lot of money. It really did. And you make it a fun thing, Don't tell your kids we can't go to the movies because we don't have the money. Just say, let's have a fun movie night at home. Yay! Okay. If you have a little extra on your paycheck as you're saving money, learn to budget your money. Every paycheck, just take a little bit starting in January and put it in either an envelope or a separate savings account and save it for Christmas. At the end of the year, you won't stress out about not having money buying gifts for your kids and having money for the Christmas meal. The money will be there waiting for you to use, and it takes a lot off your shoulders. It really does. We did this and I never missed a Christmas, and my kids always had a wonderful Christmas. There wasn't a million things around the tree, but everyone got, a couple of things, and I always had more than enough money to make our Christmas meal. It's worth trying. Okay, when you have to choose between feminine hygiene products and milk for your kids' cereal, you know what you're going to choose. So, back then I was more of a hippie. I still am a little bit. And the Go Green movement came in, and I knew other women that were doing this. I used washable maxi pads. I did, and it wasn't gross. I would use them, I would wash them, and they were perfectly clean to use again. I would make my own, or there was a company, I believe they're in Canada, I don't remember, that I would buy them from and just reuse them, and they never leaked. I never had a problem. It was so much more comfortable. I mean, if you try one, you're going to be like, wow. But I did do that. And I did what I did. And I don't regret it. And I know people think it's weird, but it's part of life. What was I going to do? Milk? Milk or maxi pads? It was a no-brainer. Vacations, they never happened. There wasn't enough money for a vacation, especially for a family of 6. So we did have a pool in the backyard, and that's where we spend most of our time as a family, swimming, playing. My kids still have memories of me being Ursula in the pool because they were the little mermaids, and they still laugh about those memories today. Another cheap thing you can do is camping. And if you don't have money to go to a state park and you have a backyard, go camping in your backyard. Your kids would love it. They'll always remember those memories. Make popcorn. You can make some iced tea. Just have a camping night. Another thing you can do is, and this is probably the last thing I'm going to tell you, is don't talk about money in front of your kids. Don't let them know that you're struggling. They don't need to know any of that. Their childhood is only once, and you don't want to put that stress on them. Keep that between you and your partner. Don't talk about it in front of the kids. They'll remember. It's just not good. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed all these tips. These are things that I did. I'm sure there's many other tips out there that you can follow, but it's time to, start saving money, and you can do it. And then at the end, reward yourself with a vacation. That's what we did. We went to Disney World at the end of all this. It was worth it. So give it a try. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and watch my videos, and I'll see you next time.